Okay, a few days back, I was in the bus heading home, so I couldn't help but overhear these two girls who were discussing. They were sort of making a debate about whether gentlemen still exist, that gentlemen are hard to come by, gentlemen are a dying breed. So it was quite interesting, and it sort of formed this food for thought in my head because I couldn't help but wonder if they actually had a point. First of all, if you open a dictionary, the definition of a gentleman is basically a man who is a polite, educated man who has excellent manners and always behaves well, right? And the other definition is quite old-fashioned because it refers to a man of high social class who doesn't necessarily have to work for money or anything. But I think the only men like that is people like Prince William or something. Anyway, anyway, but this the context that these girls were referring to is basically this sort of gallant man who opened the door for ladies, who pulls up the chair for ladies. If he sees a lady standing, he offers the lady his seat. And if those are the kind of men that these girls are actually referring to, then maybe in a way they do sort of have a point because those kind of men are hardly around these days. I mean, I for one, I know I'm not a gentleman. I wouldn't deny it. I wouldn't, claim to be one. But the thing is, sometimes when girls come across gentlemen like this, they mostly take them for granted. True story. Because, for example, I know this guy. He's like really good. He's so great. It's scary sometimes. But he gets dumped all the time and pushed over and run over by people, mostly girls. And which begs the question that if you come across a gentleman, would you take him for granted? Or would you be able to keep up with him, and would you like treasure and fully appreciate a gentleman? That's what I wanted to ask these girls, but first of all, I was a stranger and it would be rude. It was already rude listening in on their conversation, although I couldn't help overhearing them. But that's just what came into my head. Would they be able to maintain a gentleman if they came across one? I hardly doubt it because it's no big secret that girls like bad boys. No offense.